Hi, lovely people. So this is a Galactic Mayan Astrology report for the 18th of March 2019. So we're now entering into the Wavespell of Yellow Seed. And Yellow Seed, similarly to Red Serpent, has got 10 portal days in it. 10 days where the veil between the worlds is thinner, where we can really plug in and access high vibrational energy at an easier rate than we would do when we've not got these portal days stacked in a row. So the first half of the process, the 9-month process that we go through, which begins in Red Dragon, takes us into our hearts. So we're going from the external manifestation of our lives and the external understanding of ourselves, and it's like the outer layer of stuff, both for the things that we need to heal and also for the things that we're able to access. It's like the outer realm is where it begins, in the individualization. And then we come into, as the process continues, we go into the spiral that takes us into the center of our being. And the Wavespell process that we've just completed of Blue Monkey has been us in our center. Okay, so during the previous Wavespell, the previous 13-day process, we really got to see what the core of our stuff is, but also what the core of our dream is. So we got to see where we're at in relation to that. So as a result of this half cycle that we've already completed now, of clearing, of going inward, we're now moving into the space of planting, of manifesting, of opening. And this 13-day process of Yellow Seed is really about us planting conscious intentions. It's about us seeding what we're later going to be allowing to blossom. It's about us attempting to utilize this ground that we've created. So if you see it as we've spent the winter period of this internal process, really working the ground. We've been really going through the soil. We've been taking out the bits of glass. We've been taking out the big rocks. We've really been working that soil to make it beautiful for this moment, for this Wavespell, where we've got this beautifully fertile ground. It's like, well, what we're going to do with it? What do we want to plant? What are we wanting to bring forward? What have we learned from the previous Wavespell of Blue Monkey that sets our heart on fire? What is it? What about that previous Wavespell felt really good? And therefore, what is it that we're wanting to bring forward? What is it that we're wanting to align with? Because we've got this multitude of different realities on offer at any moment. And, this whole thing of intention and manifestation is simply aligning to the reality that feels best for us, that feels really good, that is like the highest vibrational, closest to unconditional love and joy version of reality that is on offer for us. And the beautiful thing that we get to experience, the more that we clear what's in the way, the more that we clear the baggage that keeps us in this heavier dimension where we're not in full alignment with the beauty and the joy that we're wanting to be living, this synchronistic order where everything just flows without us having to do and push and try and As we clear the space, then we get the access. And the beautiful thing of this human being journey is that it's a process. It's not meant to be boom, we're in this space of manifestation. For me personally, there's been things, and I've been speaking to people about this recently, there's been so many things, because I got into New Age ideology when I was sort of 17, 18, so it's been sort of nearly 10 years now. It's going to be 10 years very soon. It's my birthday over this Wavespell, my Gregorian birthday. So this journey that I've kind of had with it all, there were a lot of things that I knew, and I'd read loads, I'd explored loads, and it's like, okay, yeah, I totally understand how all this stuff works. But until I was able to begin to clean my inner diamond, until I was beginning dusting, all that stuff that I knew couldn't manifest for me, because that heaviness that was coating my diamond, that was keeping me in the dirt, wasn't allowing me to experience what it is that I'd learned. And at the moment, I've been through a really huge dark night of the soul over the past year, and it was going to be because it was my shadow year. I'm a red crystal dragon, and I was in the 12th year of a process, and my shadow, my challenge is blue monkey, and I've been in a whole year of it, so it's no wonder that I've kind of been in this super shift year. But now that I'm transitioning out of that and into the new year, a lot of things that I've really understood, when it comes to manifestation and abundance and all this stuff. The lack mentality, the lack programming was so much coating my diamond that it didn't matter that my diamond self knew that there was a diamond when there was a load of dirt there. Do you know? It's like, as the clearing has happened, reality shifts a bit, and it shifts a bit, and it shifts a bit, and it's beautiful that it's a process, because that means that every little taste of nectar is such a beautiful experience. It's like this constant evolution that we get to experience if we choose to is bliss. It's such a incredible thing to have the opportunity to experience, like, even when we get taken down, when everything feels like, oh, I don't know what's happening, I don't know how to cope, it feels too much, we then get to come through that and realize and feel that amazing, beautiful feeling of being connected again, of seeing our dreams manifest, of witnessing the synchronicities that lead us into more joy, more love, more beauty. And this Wavespell really is an opportunity for us to really grid in, really grid in, and do the planting, do the visualizing, do the vision boards, do the writing in the present tense, do all of that stuff. Because no matter how much or how little clearing work that you've done, we have been taken through a clearing process, whether we've been doing it consciously or not. There are things that we have been clearing and transforming, and we are a collective. So we've been doing this collectively. So this yellow seed time is a really amazing time for us to be writing new systems, for us to be bringing new ideas through. So if there is something within you, when it comes to business, when it comes to social justice, when it comes to what is it that you feel passionate about, and I feel that all of us, have got this social justice element of us. There are all of us that have got a piece of the puzzle to bring forward and to birth, that's not just about our joy, it's about rewriting this structure of society that has been limiting us for so long. And I had a really beautiful revelation that was it's something that I've really battled with. So I'm also in academia, and this academic hierarchical situation was something that has been incredibly difficult for me to find myself within, because every other area of my life is actively working on dissolving these hierarchical systems. I'm not often exposed to these situations, so there was a real big thing going on for me of this hierarchy, and a real rejection of it, and a real struggle to be able to communicate with people, because I felt intimidated by their status, and just really seeing how that model works and experiencing it. But then I went on a bus and I ended up meeting this older academic guy randomly in a different place, and he was a beautiful Brazilian man that was really into environmental activism, and that's what his field was all about. And it just made me something that I've felt for a long time is this shame around the colonizers that were my ancestors, and the impact of that, and the privilege that I've received as a result of that. And it's made me really want to reject it. I never wanted to be in a place of abundance, on one level. I never wanted to move in these circles of success, and all of these different things, because it just seemed to represent the stuff that makes me ashamed of my lineage, and I've had a real battle with that, and especially when it comes to the academic world, it was, you know, so well reflected, and is so well reflected within these institutions of white middle class privilege. But the interesting thing that happened, and I don't know why I'm sharing this here and now, but I am, so it's what needs to happen. But the interesting thing that I really saw and realised and understood through the discussions that I was having with this man, it was like, okay, the reality is that I am privileged because of what my forefathers took from other people in the world. But what am I going to do with it? And that's the whole thing. I think it's like a double mess if I then reject this privilege that I've been given, when in actuality what I can do with that, the impact that I can make to dissolve these systems as a result of that privilege, you know, being able to go into academia, being able to write papers, being able to lobby governments, being able to, you know, do this stuff because I've had the opportunity, which many people do not, to go to university. You know, it's this like there's just been a real shift in, okay, I'm not going to sit and feel guilty that I'm in this position anymore. And that doesn't discount everything that I feel around it. But I can flip that and be like, right, okay, that's going to motivate me even more to do something epic with my life, to do something of meaning. And this is the thing, takes us on a nice long journey around. But this is the thing of the yellow seed. You know, it's not just about the planting of the seeds for our individual gain. It's not about manifesting £1,000. That might be a small element of a bigger picture for you, but it's about, what do we want to create together? What is the world that your heart sees? Because it's only when every single one of us are really able to see and feel that world that we are experiencing within, that it can come through. So think big, feel big. However big you can make that vision, however real you can make that vision, and whatever steps you personally need to take for us to realize that vision, this is the time, this is the specific wave spell in the whole process that allows us to smash through that. It's the time that we really get to plant this stuff, and I'm really aware that I've been speaking for ages now because I went off on one. So I'm going to start to wrap it up now, but this is really the opportunity for us to be visualizing the new world for all of us and understanding what our specific role that we beamed in when we didn't have a skin color, when we didn't have a gender, when we didn't have all of these different things and money wasn't a thing, you know, when we were in the spirit world and we were all one thing, and then we beamed into this separation that's got lots of power imbalances. Why did we decide to have that specific makeup? And from that specific makeup, with the vision that we know to be the truth of unity and the way that we see the world, what do we then need to plant? You know, we're the farmers of the reality. So what is it that we're bringing through? You know, do you want daffodils or do you want blackberries? You've got to decide what you're going to plant to be able to reap that. If you don't decide, if you don't see it, if you don't plant it, it's not going to work. If you accidentally planting something and you're not really aware of what you're planting, that's what's going to happen. Conscious planting of how you want your life in relation to the greater reality that we're all bringing through. So, as I say, it's got another 10 amazing portal days, so it's a super full power, boom energy for us to really utilize and for us to work with to be able to bring these visions through. So I hope that you have a wonderful wave spell. I am so in my heart place. You know, I gave a talk at a conference about democratic education. I met the most inspirational people, you know, that are really doing incredible things for children all over the planet, that are really promoting play and children's free action, and it was so juicy. And then tomorrow I go to spend time with an incredible progressive school that I'm doing some research with. Two of them, one for 1 week, one for another week. It's like, boom. So that's what I'm doing. What are you going to do? I'd love to hear about it. Because this is it. We've all got that thing that sets our heart on fire, that feels really easy and really fills us with joy, but also is doing something incredibly beneficial for all of us. The purpose behind it is not hedonism. The purpose behind it is service. And that's where we're going. So I'm sending you loads of love, happy planting, and happy portal days.